Yo, 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 what is up, YouTube? Shout out to everybody who is happy. I hope that's everybody that's watching our channel. Hey, check it out, man. Somebody don't want me to do this interview. Diddy BOMBSHELL revelations. Big homie CC. This is 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. Hey, 5 hours ago. Shout out to my team. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Are we on? We're about to find out. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, baby. Shout out to all the patrons. Don't forget, y'all, go check the links down because we got a lot of stuff for the patrons. We got a lot of stuff for free. You could join as a free patron to support the channel, right? And just watch some of those videos for the free patron. So without any further ado, hey, let's check this bad boy out.
Working in the industry, I converted my business to combat human trafficking. His view skewed when it comes to sexual activity. I believe it's helped turn him into a sexual deviant. I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. This is a dangerous game people are playing, and some people deserve retribution.
You clearly feel that Sean Combs made people disappear.
I know this situation is dangerous. I've had several attempts on my life throughout my career.
Other people say that Diddy was a Fed himself, that he was on their payroll. Do you think that's a possibility?
If there's
Man, I've been waiting for these two to get together, man. 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. Oh man, big homie CC, you going to another level, baby, and you deserve it. Shout out to big homie CC. Trying to make some, I don't know what. There you go. There you go. Shout out to big homie CC, y'all.
smoke, there's fire, Pierce. I've very rarely seen any straight dudes in this industry, man. All bisexual weirdos. I don't want to be the only straight man at the party.
And what would you like to happen to him?
I'll say this.
The opening days of Diddy's...
Dude, it's a lot of people, Nicki Minaj, big homie CC. There's a lot of people that's saying that it's some, it's a lot of both ways or in the closet, or I don't want to say the word gay. Oops. In the music industry, man. I never even knew that. And I was deep in the music industry, man. But, you know, I knew what I was. So that's crazy, man. God, dog.
His trial in Manhattan have been gripping, lurid, shocking, and revelatory. It's everything we should have expected from a federal case against a mogul and megastar who stands accused of sex trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy. My next guest has been watching these week's proceedings with a particular and personal interest. Big homie CC is a celebrity bodyguard and security entrepreneur, and he joins me now. Big homie, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Hello, Pierce. How are you today?
Yeah, good, thank you. We're 2 days into this case against Diddy. What is your gut feeling about what's going to happen here?
Oh, shucks.
Well, my gut feeling on what's going to take place is, well, we're going to see a lot of strange things take place due to the fact that I know how this world works. After working in the industry, I converted my business to combat human trafficking. Last year, my team brought home 17 people, 4 children, 1 boy. And whenever these trials come about, the closer you get to the trial date, a lot of things start happening to remove people from the case that are going to strengthen the case for the prosecution. And I feel like we're watching that take place now with one of the male sex worker guys who provided tapes to the feds. He's disappeared. And this is similar to what happened in the Tory Lanez case, where the bodyguard whose DNA was on the weapon, he disappeared. So I expect to see a lot of strange things take place. I expect to see the defense team do a lot of steps to lighten the image of Combs.
Wow.
And we've been watching that take place.
From what you know about him, Sean Combs, obviously the perception of him has changed dramatically since these allegations were made and since he got charged. I mean, from everything we're seeing now, he seems a very unpleasant, nasty, violent piece of work. Is that a correct assessment?
The assessment is going to be correct. So what I've learned is whenever you see a gentleman like this from affluence and power, whenever they have an addiction to MDMA or the drug ecstasy, they call it the love drug. So he's been doing this drug for over 20 years. So that's going to lead his view skewed when it comes to sexual activity. I believe it's helped turn him into a sexual deviant. And you know, what type of man wants to see another man urinate in his wife's mouth? I feel like it's evil. I think his behavior is egregious. And you know, I have a history of using very heinous acts on people like this who participate in this type of lascivious acts.
As we're talking, 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, who was his longtime girlfriend.
He right though, man. I just cut it right there for a second. I can't see what man or anybody in their right mind want to see another man or themselves use the bathroom on your loved one. Well, I mean, how do you show love by degrading somebody? How do you show love by hurting somebody? I was taught to show love by pleasing and I don't know, buying gifts and letting them know that you love them, kissing them, touching them softly is how you show love. I don't understand. I never understood this puffy thing, man. But the main key to this is, I want y'all to notice that all this stuff that they talking about, all the stuff for Cassie and using the bathroom on her, all that is irrelevant to the case. This is not even that don't have nothing to do with the case. So you're making the world feel sorry for Cassie, but none of this has anything to do with the case, though. Okay, it's not a law written that you can't use the bathroom on somebody, or you can't do it in the mouth. It's no law against that. Now, did she want to do all this? No, she didn't want to do it, but she did it. She did. I mean, she was a grown woman. She could have left. She never called the police and all this type of stuff. She stayed for 10 years. So that's hard right there.
Very heinous acts on people like this who participate in this type of lascivious acts.
As we're talking, 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, who was his longtime girlfriend, is one of the two people who the feds have brought this case with. She says that Combs would bash on my head, knock me over, drag me, kick me. Asked how often, she replied, too frequently. She says she didn't want to participate in the freakoffs, as he called them, but she did so because she loved him very much and wanted to make him happy. She told the jury she was scared of what he would do if she said no. Physical violence from Combs, she said, was always on the back of her mind. He wanted to control every aspect of her life, from how she looked to her work. And when he couldn't reach her immediately, he and his employees would call her incessantly or come and find her in person. So she's building a picture of a violent control freak. Is that a picture that you recognize of what you know about this?
Right. So definitely, these are traits that I recognize. In the field that I work in, whenever we get a call for a retrieval and a family is concerned about a loved one, those same characteristics that this woman listed is the same things that streetwalkers will list about their boyfriend, which is actually their pimp and panderer. That's why I have an affinity for people who are survivors of this type of nonsense and oppression. And this sounds familiar. You know, along this path, I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide. And you know, cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia on 3 occasions. You know, and these problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about people like this. You know, it's been a hard time to line up this interview because the last time I was scheduled to be in this interview, randomly, our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle. No license plate. That's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
somebody didn't want me to do this interview. Yeah, somebody didn't want me to do this interview. You know, I'm somebody where I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. So, you know, I'm well versed in this world. But, you know, I got round the clock security. One of them was sitting right here with me right now. This is a dangerous game people are playing, and it's a good feeling for me to see the justice system prevail, and some people deserve retribution.
You clearly feel that Sean Combs over the years has made people disappear.
Right. Well, Pierce, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You've just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So, you know.
There were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. I thought, shit, have I gone to the wrong place? I looked up the end of a tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on. Or was that Puffy? I'm effing around, but if that was Puffy, had a flaming bottle of Johnson. And no, I'm just kidding. I think that you have taken that to be a not too oblique reference to the fact that he's suggesting he may too have been poisoned.
Jamie Foxx said out of his mouth that his partner handed him an Advil, and after he took that Advil, he woke up 22 days later. That's what he said out of his mouth. I feel like us as a species, I feel like human skepticism has become a virus, because if we don't trust the words of our peers, where are we as a species? You know, eyewitness testimony and circumstantial evidence is enough to get a person a life sentence in any court on the earth. Why is it that when people are whistleblowing and putting their life and livelihood on the line, they receive so much scrutiny? I don't think that's by chance.
Tax day has passed, but for millions of Americans, that's where the trouble begins. The IRS is now ramping up enforcement for those who miss the
Almost missed it, y'all. Golly, cut some of that out. Anyway, that's crazy, man. You're right. The hardest thing is for the person that got hurt or is complaining about a crime is showing receipts, right? Or showing proof. It really doesn't work that way. So because it doesn't work that way, now this is what Uncle Mike is saying. Lying. We have to start right at the root of the problem. If you lie in court, it should be some very, very harsh punishment. You know, if you lying, this is what happens. Because it is difficult for somebody being honored, somebody is after me. Where's the proof? I just seen them peeping in the window. I ain't have time to grab a camera, that type of thing. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to show the proof, man.
Not the IRS.
Yeah.
I mean, why would Diddy want to poison Jamie Foxx?
If you know that you have, well, just to give some insight to people watching, when you come under federal investigation, they send you a target letter. you get informed that you're being investigated. So if you wanted to tie up loose ends and you were concerned that people that you knew could incriminate you, you may have interest in eliminating them. We've seen this all throughout history.
I mean, this sounds kind of mafioso stuff, but I sense that you're talking from a lot of experience here, that you genuinely believe this is a highly dangerous situation involving a highly dangerous man with very dangerous people acting on his behalf, potentially.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely speaking from experience. This is definitely a highly dangerous situation because this guy was the middleman. He was the party guy. He was the person who lined up the parties and festivities for a lot of guys a lot more wealthy and affluent than him. So, I'm a person who believes that the Epstein's list is very similar to Diddy's list. I'm a believer in that. And, whenever it comes to protecting women and children, I'm gonna be fierce. Big ups to my sponsor, Stallion Gear, for putting up funds to help us go out and help people. I wanna salute Michael Franzese because he's probably the only famous person who donated to our campaign for protecting women and children, going down to the orphanages and passing out toys and gifts. Because at the end of the day, us as men, we must learn to police ourselves in our own community, because if not, these type of activities will continue to run rampant. I know this situation is dangerous. I've had several attempts on my life throughout my career. And where there's one dangerous guy, there's a group.
You referenced earlier, I have a history of heinous acts against people who behave like that. What did you mean by that?
Well, there's a lawsuit that I'm listed in where allegedly I quipped Combs about his sexual deviant activity, and I protected the plaintiff and pointed a firearm at Mr. Combs. That's what the paperwork says. They don't have their facts right, but I have a reputation for maintaining a proper balance.
What was he doing, Combs, at the time?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
That's all alleged. So they don't really got they don't have the facts correct with that situation. There's some sort of conspiracy going on, because the same law firm that has brought this case, they tried to file this same case last year. They finally got it amended this year, and this same law firm was trying to pay me $5,000 to come talk on an interview. I turned it down, and then they filed this paperwork. I firmly believe that this lawsuit was filed by people off his side to try to discredit me, other witnesses, and to try to get this current case that he's on thrown out. That's how deep this goes, because the law firm who brought this asinine case, nobody can seem to track them down. How can they have this case amended? Who has the finances to file this type of lawsuit? I got to pay Ed Zappia $15,000 to represent me in a case like this while this trial is going on. Something weird is happening.
But just to be clear, was there an incident where you witnessed somebody who was being abused or about to be abused or had been abused by Diddy, by Sean Combs, and you intervened and warned him to stop?
Definitely.
And what can you tell me about that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's the thing. It's an open case, so I can't really expound too much on that. But I've had several calls about this guy. I've had several calls about his son. People reaching under ladies' dresses, fondling them without asking for permission. Where did he learn this behavior from? Where would he learn that from? Legendary Dapper Dan said he grew up, he knew Combs' parents, and he said what's going on with Combs didn't start with him, it started with his family. The same things that I see when I'm battling trafficking cases. The most common enablers of this activity are close relatives, families, and friends.
Yeah. There are lots of rumors, as you know, swirling about Diddy, and have been accelerated by what's happened to him. One of them is that he had something to do with 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦's Shakur's murder. Do you believe that?
Well, you know, when it comes to situations like that, you got to look at the list of facts. There's a guy by Dwayne Keith Davis who's currently in a Las Vegas detention center. And, you know, he swears up and down that Combs promised him a payment to unalive the rapper. And the rapper became unalived. And, you know, FBI say 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 intercepted the payment and kept it for himself. Like this, the paper trail wouldn't exist. If there's smoke, there's fire, Pierce.
Other people say that Diddy was a Fed himself, that he was on their payroll. Do you think that's a possibility?
Well, you know, that's definitely a possibility, but oftentimes in my culture, being an African-American male, sometimes we can believe that we're bigger than the program. And the moment he decided to sue the liquor company, Diageo, that's when all of the onset of these problems started. You know, when you offend a list of board of directors and all of them are richer than you can get the short end of the stick. And that's what we're watching happen here.
Big homie,
Facts.
We've all heard a lot about these freakoffs. Most people I've talked to say, well, there were layers of parties that Diddy would throw. There was the public one with all the glamour and all the celebrities and stuff, and then there'd be various layers ending up in the freakoff area, and that would go on sometimes for days and was extremely depraved, involved a lot of drugs, a lot of very kinky, depraved sex and so on. What can you tell me about the freakoffs? For those who don't know anything about this world, what was it about the freakoffs that is so fascinating to people, do you think?
What people have to understand is swinger parties exist. And that's exactly the lifestyle that this gentleman lives. He's a swinger. And swingers hang with other swingers. That's what it is. Like the term freak off has become sensationalized by media, but what the true nature and name for this event is going to be called a swinger party, Pierce. And that's what takes place. You people,
a swinger party, Pierce,
sharing their partner, indulging in sexual acts. You know, as long as things are consensual, you know, what people do is their business. But if I'm getting a call because somebody's applying oppression on other people, that's when things become a problem. And, you know, I had sent in a video of the guy, Combs, walking around, collecting everyone's cell phone before they get onto a yacht to go party. Why do you have to collect everyone's cell phone before you go onto a party? He's collecting the phones himself. That's what I meant by there's layers to the party. You know, the first part of the event is going to be a normal socializing mixer. But, you know, when the guy comes out collecting phones, that's when things are about to get, that's when somebody's cake's getting touched. This is how it goes. It's a zest apocalypse right now, man. We got to do something about this.
Is there any doubt that he was bisexual? Diddy, that seems to be clear from a lot of the evidence that's come out.
Yeah. All of these guys are when it comes to that. Like, I've very rarely seen any straight dudes in this industry, man. That's why I pivoted my business. Like, it's like, you know, I don't want to be the only straight man at the party. So, you know, I got to change it up. All of these dudes are, man.
But
all of them are.
And the freakoffs,
all bisexual weirdos.
Right, you're painting a picture of these freakoffs as being consensual largely, although the issue of the phones is obviously significant and will be tested, I'm sure, in court. But you're also suggesting that it was everyone sort of sharing partners. But isn't the key part of the Diddy case predicated on the fact that he may have been trafficking, in other words, bringing in a lot of sex workers to take part in these as well? And that he, for example, with Cassie Ventura, was, you know, they were having, you know, male sex workers, female sex workers, and so on. In other words, it may have been consensual, but it also involved people who were not, you know, with each other, but actual sex workers joining in.
Yeah. So, you know, whenever you see the little guys, the white dudes come in with the spiky hair looking like vampires, yeah, you know, the sex workers is arriving. And at the end of the day, Is it consensual if you're promising people a career path and a lifestyle in glitz and glamour, and you're saying, look, we're all doing it. Come join us. You party with us, then I can get you a record deal. I can get you this. That's what's going on to certain people. You know, everybody isn't being financially compensated, and that's wherein lies the problem.
Big Homie, you've referenced the fact that several times we tried to do this interview and stuff happened to you that was very concerning. Car with blacked out windows and so on, engaging with your vehicle and so on. Now that you've given this interview and you've gone public again and made it very clear what you think of Sean Diddy Combs, do you fear about reprisals?
No, I don't fear anything like that. I'm very, very good at what I do, and I'm trained in everything dangerous. I knew what I signed up for. I'm very well aware of the risk. You know, I'm gonna go back into hiding after this, of course, but at the same time, me as a man, you know, I'm here to fulfill my duty. God sent me to do a job, and I intend to get that job accomplished.
Do you think Diddy would want you dead?
Probably be in his best interest if I was.
Oh, wow. That's a good answer.
Good luck with that, though. I've been proven to be hard to kill, though. Shout out Turn Up guys. Shout out to the guys.
Shout out to the guys, yeah.
Just finally, Big Homie, there's a lot of speculation about what he may have kept on tape. And I think you've talked about the fact a lot of these guys like to keep trophies, memorabilia, you know, sort of
absolutely
souvenirs of their depravity, if you like. Just tell me about that briefly. I mean, was that part of the modus operandi for the freakoffs and everything?
Yeah, so what I'll say is throughout my career path, we may end up with a pedophile's phone. And in that phone, you'll see a list of trophies. And when it was announced that he had CCTV film cameras in the house, and when the Homeland Security did the initial raid, they didn't inform the raiding officers whose home they were raiding because they had information that he might have been protected. And, you know,
a leak.
Part of Epstein's thing was to get people in precarious situations, and then you have this footage that you can use against them to be able to have your way with champions of industry and able to control policy. He does the same thing. So, you know, if you want to be able to seal a big deal and there's a guy you know likes to party, it's easy to set that up. You know, you send a guy a screenshot like, yeah, man, you had such a good time with those 2 underage girls yesterday, man. You remember this video right here? That person is gonna have some incentive to help you out in what you need them to do. It's the same, we've seen this over and over.
What do you think is gonna happen to him? And what do you want to happen to him?
I actually think he may get off. I think he might get off. I've seen stranger things take place. They offered him a plea deal of 15 years. He turned it down. That's that. At first they were saying life. Then it went to 15 years. I wouldn't be shocked if he got off.
And what would you like to happen to him?
Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that.
What I'd like to happen to him, you know, I'm not gonna say on air. I'll say it to you off camera, but I'll say this. I wish the worst, and I have extreme disdain for any man who wants to traffic another person, because that is just slavery all over again. And I don't believe any one person should have dominion over another human being.
Big Homie CC, thank you very much indeed for doing the interview on Uncensored. I appreciate it. Piers Morgan Uncensored is proudly independent. The only boss around.
The only boss around here is Mike Cross, the boss. Boss. That's why he can't stop eating on camera, man. I apologize, man. I be doing so much. When I don't eat, I have a kidney stone, y'all. Just to let y'all know. Y'all know Uncle Mike don't give a hoot. I want y'all to be close to me, man. I don't hide anything. You know, I'm not like other people. I'm an alcoholic. I do too many drugs. I shoot up. I snort cocaine. I'm lying. Y'all know I'm lying. I like to drink beer. That's about it. But I'm trying to stop because I'm getting fat. Yeah, I'm getting fat. But anyway, shout out to big homie CC, man. Definitely shout out to big homie CC Piers Morgan. I'm really starting to like Piers Morgan, man. I think he is real cool. He gets straight to the point and everything. Did y'all see when can't remember these people's names? Kanye West. Oh my God, Mike. God, I'm pitiful at this, y'all. Kanye West. Did y'all see the interview that him and Kanye West did, and Kanye got up and left? Kanye is taking the wrong side. I can't do that side. I do it sometimes, and everybody got enough I don't give a F in them, but you have to give more than an F. You have to give. You gotta care more than you don't care. There's some people out here in this world that I don't give a sugar about. You know what I'm saying? But you're stopping me. You're trying to stop me from caring about all the fans, all the subscribers, all the people that's hearing my voice, all the people who like my voice, because I don't like my voice, to be honest. I was just telling my fiance that I hate my voice, and I hate the way I'm trying to make a point and it doesn't come out sometimes. But all you have to do in this world is try your best. All you have to do is do your best, and God will send people to you. Because no matter what you do, wherever you at, there's going to be people much better than you, and there's going to be people that's wishing they was in your shoes. You know, so all you got to do is bring people up. If you down here, there could be some people under you. Help bring them up. That's all you got to do in this world. It's to help people. If you help bring people up, like big homie CC is doing, you won't be in a situation when you bringing people down like P. Diddy, Suge Knight. Suge Knight done learned this lesson in jail. That's why he doing all those. Don't wait till it's too late. Jail is a place you don't want to go, cause you can't go nowhere. You kind of limited to do things. Get it? It's in jail. You got a roommate, and both of y'all got to share that one stainless steel toilet. That's enough, right? That sound like a freak off right there. I ain't trying to do that. That sound too freaky. I don't want to see or hear or be in the same room with another man using the bathroom. I don't want to be there. So to make sure I ain't there, what I got to do to make sure I don't get into a situation where I'm asleep in my jail cell and my partner needs to use the bathroom and put a towel up. Yeah, really? I don't want to be in the same bathroom. Hello? So that's why I draw my line. The fact that the food is nasty is on a whole nother level. And I might get hurt by the other inmates and stuff. That's on a whole different level. I'm allergic to jail. So in order to stay out of jail, I do right. And I do what God wants you to do, which is help other people. See, that's not hard. It ain't even hard. I can see if it was something hard you had to do. It's easy, right? Shout out to all the patrons. Shout out to all the subscribers. Shout out to all the people that support Uncle Mike. Just support and watch me burn. I'm going to burn them, y'all. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.